I'd like to talk a little bit about, I came here to California 9 years ago, and I remember being asked if I'd be interested in taking this job at UC Davis, and the main thing that drew me to California was knowing the number of wrestlers here in the state and the depth of the quality of the wrestlers here. I remember my brother, I think it's one of his first years in the finals of the Nationals, he had a Cal Bakersfield wrestler, I think his name was Perry Shea, and I asked, geez, what did that guy do? You know, he just beat a two-time national champ. What did he do in the state of California? And they said, oh, he was a state qualifier. And that's just not heard of in the state of Iowa. Somebody that qualifies for the state tournament makes the finals of nationals. So I went over to Joe Gonzalez and I said, can you believe that guy was just a state qualifier, and you know, he's in the finals of the nationals. And Joe was a one or two-time national champ and was on the world team 5 or 6 times. And he said, well, I've never made it to the state tournament. So knowing that, and that was some time ago, I came here, like I said, 9 years ago. Since then, the state has increased its wrestling population by 10,000 wrestlers in the high school, at the high school level. Yearly, I think, and I don't recall last year, just because in the spring we had quite a bit going on, but the state of California has taken first or second at the high school nationals every year. At the same time, we've lost the national powerhouse Fresno State within this time. I think they placed in the top 20 every year. I was out here under Toledo. They produced the greats, Avises. They a 3-time national champ and a 2-time finalist. A UC Davis program, the last UC program was cut last year. Fullerton right now is struggling. Bakersfield, we're struggling. And my concern is that, you know, we have 28,000 wrestlers with an incredible depth in the state, and we just can't let this happen. Take myself outside of wrestling. I just look at these kids. I go to the state tournament every year. I look at a weight class, and I'll pick, you know, as I'm studying the weight class, I'll pick 7, 8 wrestlers saying, I don't know what their grades are, I don't know what their work ethic is, but I know that those wrestlers can wrestle D1. And so we're in this state that I think, I don't think there's much argument that we have one of the best states in wrestling in the state, in the nation rather, and we're seeing our college opportunities for these young men slowly diminishing. And I just hope through this activity that we can arise some awareness. I know that you're aware of this, but some strength in fighting this and get these programs back. I'd like to thank a few people here. I'd like to thank the Rosses. I know Mike mentioned them briefly, but since they joined our cause to try to get UC Davis back, I just want to tell you, it's been amazing what they've been able to do. And we have a lot of strong alumni. We have people that, you know, give financially a good chunk of money, but nobody can do what they did. It's been actually amazing watching the people that they got involved and how strategically they go about it. And I want to thank you for that. I also want to thank Senator Rubio for your comments and for the enthusiasm to get wrestling back. That's very well appreciated. Dave Patrick, I'd like to thank you for what you've done for wrestling. Henry, I'd like to thank you for your inspiration. I think your story really brings home to a lot of wrestlers out here. I'd like to thank Rob Valario for all the work he does for USA Wrestling, and Dennis Toledo for what they did for putting this on. And lastly, the guy that's always doing the thank yous, but this guy right here, Mike Moyer, probably one of the most amazing guys in our whole wrestling circuit. What he's done just to attempt to get our programs back, and I'll just say just with UC Davis, is absolutely amazing. He doesn't get paid on commission. I'll get calls at 9 o'clock at night, which is 12 o'clock his time,
talking about issues, about getting wrestling back, wrestling movements here in California. But this guy, and I would say this in all honesty, not just because he's here, but I think he's the best leader that we could have at the NWCA, leading our cause nationwide, and especially out here. So thank you, and hope you enjoy the competition today.